Students, today we can continue with chapter 2 of PHP. Writing to a file. PHP write to a file have the function that is fwrite. The fwrite function is used to write to a file. The first parameter of fwrite function contains the name of the file to be written, and the second parameter is the string to be written. Means when we want to write something under the new file or one particular file, we should pass the parameters, that is which file we are writing the contents. Then we should give the values or strings to be printed in the file. Okay, so we can see one example here so that it will be clear how to write the function, how to use this fwrite function. Okay, you can start with PHP syntax, and I have used the variable that is my file. Declare the variable my file equals fopen. So in yesterday's class we had seen how the fopen function works, right? We are creating one new file, right? So here we have created a new file dot text, comma, mode is W, that means it is writing. If we want to read the file, then we should give the mode that is R, right? So here if you want to write, otherwise if you can't write into the new file, then it should give the message that is or die, unable to open the file. $text equals John Doe. So this is the text which should be right in the file, that is new file, that is John Doe. Okay, fwrite my file comma $text. So in fwrite, by you taking the fwrite function, so here you can see it's taking the my file variable, means in my file variable that has the new file dot text, right? So it is taking there, then $text is the string value which we had been passed, that is John Doe, right? So $text John Doe, then fwrite my file comma text, fclose my file. Okay, so here you can use only once also. Okay, if you are using two times, then the particular name or the particular text will be displayed two times. Okay, so here you can see, notice that we wrote to the file new file.text twice. Each time we wrote to the file, we send the string $text that first contain John Doe and second contain Jane Doe. Okay, after we finished writing, we close the file using the fclose function. Okay, so the output you can see John Doe and Jane Doe. So definition and usage. The file put contents writes data to a file. The function follows these rules when accessing a file. If file use include path is set, check the include path of a copy of a file name. So if you are using this particular function, then it will check the path of the copied file. Then create the file if it does not exist. Open the file, lock the file if lock underscore ex is set. If file append is set, then move to the end of the file, otherwise clear the file content. Then write the data into the file, close the file and release any locks. So notice, if you are using the file append to avoid deleting the existing content of the file. So here you can see how it is using echo file put contents, the file name test.text and hello world string value dot testing. Okay. So file put contents include file name, data, mode and context parameter values, that is like file name requires the specify the path of the file to write to. If the file does not exist, this function will create one. So here in place of file name, we are specifying the file which we want to use. Data required to write to the file. It can be a string, array or a data stream. Mode means here it's specially how to open write to the file, possible values, file use include path, file append and lockx. Okay. Context, optional one, specifies the context of the file handle. Context is the set of options that can modify the behavior of a stream. Closing a file, definition and usage. The fclose function closes an open file pointer. Notice the file must have been opened by fopen or fsock open. Fclose file pointer parameter is required, specifies the file to be closed. So in fclose function also we can use the parameter, that is file pointer. Okay. Reading from a file. So in yesterday's class we had seen how we are using the fread function, right? So here we can look in detail how to read from the file. Okay, reading content from a file in PHP can be accomplished in two ways, that is using read file function or using fread function to read content from an open file. Read file using the read file function. The read file function reads the entire content of a file and writes it to the output buffer. So it will be reading the contents and display the output, right? So this is how we are using the read file function. Example, echo read file study tonight info.txt. So we are reading the file, and if the file contain any string or characters, it will be displayed. Okay. Open and read the file using fread function. So we can read the content from the already open file using the fread function. The fread function takes two arguments. First is the file name, and the second argument specifies the size in bytes for the content to be read. So when we are using the file read, that is read file function, we are just giving the file name, but in fread function we can specify the size of the bytes. Okay, size in bytes. So here you can see the example. Opening a file, my file equals fopen study tonight dot text, and we have used the R means to read the entire file. Okay, echo fread function includes my file comma file size study tonight dot text. So it displays the size of the particular file, and we have used the fclose function to close the file. So close fclose in bracket, I have used the pointer of my file, right? So this is how we can use the fopen fread. Okay, read file line by line using fgets. The fgets function reads a single line till the new line character from any given file. Okay, so here fget function is used to read the entire single line. Okay, so here you can see same example. My file equals fopen study tonight info dot text comma R, reading a single line using fgets, that is echo fgets of dollar my file. So from my file it just reads the single line. So it will just execute the single line of the file name, that is study tonight info. Then close the file by using the function fclose. Next one, get end of file using feof. The function feof returns true if the file pointer is at the end of file, else it returns false. This function can be used to loop through file of unknown size because of function can be used to check if the end of file is reached. So here it is mainly used to check whether the particular loop has been reached the end of the file. Okay, so here you can say same example, like my file equals fopen study tonight info dot text read. Then I have used the loop, that is while feof my file echo fgets the my file. So fgets is mainly used to read the particular single line. If it reached completely the loop, then it will give the output. Okay, here fclose my file. So this is how we can use the feof. Read file character by character, so that we should use the function, that is fgetc. We can use the function fgetc to read the single character from any file resource starting from the beginning. We can use the fgetc function along with the feof function to print the entire content of a file character by character. This function comes in handy if you have to replace any character or look for any particular character in a file content. Okay, so here fgetc is mainly used